Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Committee to order. I think we should start by reviewing and approving the agenda. Is there a motion?
I so move. I so move.
Second.
Thank you. And I'm going to make a little change to the next one. We actually have two sets of meeting minutes that we're going to approve. The first one is from the February 8th meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Oh,
What happened to March 21?
I'm getting there.
He's getting good.
I so move.
one slight correction.
Yes.
My name is misspelled.
That's been corrected.
Great.
That means that I sent the wrong copy. It's been corrected.
great,
I will
thanks.
send out the correct copy. Sorry about that. Mine
No.
was also misspelled.
Oh. Hope you corrected yours too.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And now we will do the March 21st meeting minutes.
And I have a slight correction on that
Oh,
one too.
Okay.
It says I was there, I wasn't.
Okay, I missed that. Thank
You
you.
could have gotten credit.
And if I could just ask that, if we're making slight adjustments, could we
Yes.
just change the spelling on my name? So
Yes, we
it's
can.
D-I-V-E-R as opposed to D-R-I-V-E-R.
Okay,
So, thank you.
sure,
Sometimes spell check changes that back for people.
sometimes. Okay, thank you. You made a motion?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful. Town updates. We don't have anyone today from the town management, so we will move to the police department.
All right, thank you. April 17th, last Wednesday, myself and Deputy Chief Justin Norman, accompanied with Mr. Rosenblatt, we attended the Del Dot Safety Summit. It was located in the Chase Center in Wilmington. First annual event, so we didn't really know what to expect there. 300 plus attendees. I want to say it was somewhere between 300 and 350. That included, that did not include the vendors and the exhibits or the instructors. So there's probably 420 to 500 people there. It was crazy. Full breakfast and a full lunch, I might add. It was very delicious.
That's why it was crowded.
Well worth the round trip ride. So they had three separate rooms from 8 to about 11. There was a general discussion. Governor Carney was in attendance. He spoke first. And then there was a lot of people from Delaware State Police and then Del Dot and OHS that addressed everybody. And then after that, there was three separate exhibit halls, A, B, and C, and they had separate classes. So from 11 to 11:40, you could attend one of three classes. So myself, Justin Norman, and Dan kind of divided and conquered so we could take as much in as possible. One specific session was geared towards pedestrian and bicycle safety. That was, I think, 1:30 to 2:15, so it was later in the day. Dan Rosenblatt was licking his chops for that one. It was held by Anthony Aglio from Del Dot. If you guys remember in the workshop, he is the regional and state supervisor for pedestrian and bicycle safety issues. John Fiore, who does the bicycle checkpoints, was also here in that workshop. Anthony Aglio put on this session, so we all sat front row for that one. I will say, and I'm going to toot our own horn here, the town of Bethany Beach far exceeds other jurisdictions and municipalities in the state of Delaware. I could confidently say that. As a police officer and now as an administrator, I could confidently say that. He spoke very highly of Bethany Beach. It was maybe a 30-minute PowerPoint presentation that he did. Never seen it before. He addressed the crowd. It was a bicycle checkpoint, and then the one right after that was J1 safety security seminars.
Wow.
So I started getting heart palpitations when he had mentioned both of those. He paused, looked over to me, and said, "Bethany Beach, if you guys want to see the example, follow what they're doing because they're on it."
Oh, my gosh.
I wanted to run out and celebrate in the streets of Wilmington when he said that. He referenced specifically our bike checkpoint programs and past J1 involvement seminars, what we used to do at Sea Colony. Nobody in the room had any idea of what we're working on for the upcoming months with the J1. There was about 150 people, so each room held 125 to 150 people. So there's about 125 people through Del Dot, OHS, town mayors, leaders throughout the whole entire state. And everybody, I heard everybody's head just kind of whip towards us when they were speaking of Bethany. It's a very, very good feeling that every bit of work that we're doing as a committee in the town is being recognized throughout the state. Like I said, Bethany is well above other municipalities in bicycle and pedestrian safety components. I do want to mention, I made an idea in years past from Diane and I's outreach program that we did last summer. I think I suggested jumping on a trolley, A, because it was air conditioning, and B, people are trapped. That way we can kind of talk to them for a few minutes and get some ideas of what they would want to see or what we're doing wrong and just get some feedback. So DelDOT did the same exact thing on their DART buses in the city of Wilmington. So I was, high-fiving myself there for that. I did not copy that idea from anybody. Diane, the only reason I suggested it, because it was 107 degrees.
Suggested it first.
I wanted air conditioning, I'm not gonna lie.
It's hot in the summer.
Yes. So DelDOT employees rode their DART buses. They completed surveys and interviews to Wilmington bus line operators. They had a lot of configuration with the bus systems, not stopping at intersections. There was a lot of different things and components, and they just had a couple generic slides. So I feel keeping that idea running and taking it for the summer is going to be great for us, because we'll get some positive and negative feedback, most importantly, from people on the trolleys and the air conditioning. They found this exceptionally useful for their planning and research for the bus lines that are being operated in certain designated Wilmington locations. Next, the vendors. So all three exhibit halls in the middle were lined with vendors. They had flashing pedestrian lights, the RRFBs, pedestrian activity signs like the green poles that we put up in the summertime along Atlantic and Pennsylvania Avenue. They had intersection signs that we already have. They had flashing speed limit signs that we already had. They had the DelDOT erect signs that go out in the median strips that you'll see now for the bicycle event this weekend. We already do that stuff. So out of the vendors, we were ahead of 75% of them. So I kind of walked around, I was like, we do that, we do this, we do that, we do this. And they're just trying to sales pitch to everybody what they want. We already got it. So we are well ahead of the curve on that. Again, Governor John Carney spoke first thing in the morning. The one thing I took away from that, I'm going to reference this quote to him. The main thing is keeping the main thing the main thing. I think that should be one of our components for the Bicycle Safety Committee here, that if we're going to focus on pedestrians and bicycles, we need to focus on pedestrians and bicycles. Next is the J1 seminar. I have been in contact with DART, the Delaware Area Regional Transit buses, the shuttle buses that come through town in the summertime. I have spoken to their social media department as well as their management. As of right now, I am successful in obtaining donated bus passes to our J1 seminar that we can reward the students coming. It's only going to be for one zone, so the state of Delaware has zone 1, 2, and 3, pretty much one for each county. All we need to worry about is Rehoboth and the Lewis area bus line, which is zone 1. If there is a cost for that, I will take care of that under the police department budget. I think it might be very minor, but as of right now, we're going to get them donated. I'm expecting maybe 150.
Oh, wow.
Total students, so I'm going to try to get bus passes for that.
Is it one ride per pass?
They're gonna focus, so they have daily and they have hourly, they have daily, weekly, and monthly, and I think they're gonna give us a monthly pass. So that's,
Okay, that's big.
yeah, they don't go up there that often, so a monthly pass, that would be great. They can go from here to Ocean City, and then here to Rehoboth outlets, and then Lewis on Route 9, they go to the Social Security Administration office. So
Oh, wow.
hopefully that's what we have, they're gonna be the monthly passes.
150.
150, wow.
Tropicana Swimwear is a store on the boardwalk. They are willing to donate sunscreen and lip balm,
Oh, wow.
SPF, and purchase drawstring bags for this seminar at wholesale cost. I actually reached out to the Office of Highway Safety to see if they can give us some for free, so nobody's buying them. See if they can fill them with some reflective armbands, some of the giveaways they do at our bike safety checkpoints. That way we can kind of stuff these gift bags for the students that they can, we can put bike lights and stuff in there. If Del Dot does not have any available, I will purchase them for the police department as well for these events. Since January 1st, we've had accidents. We've had 11 accidents since January 1st, and I pulled the stats up till yesterday. I'm happy to report that not one this time of year involved a pedestrian or bicycle safety. Pedestrian or bicycle issue, so there's no safety concerns there. Mickey did ask me to keep a running list of that, which I'm gonna start working on. I can report this every month, every meeting. Summertime, we have accidents maybe 2 or 3 a day. Off-season, it's maybe 1 or 2 a week, average. So summertime is really more prone to lack of attention, bicyclists being on the roadway, going opposite directions, causing accidents and stuff like that. So we're pretty much normal where we usually are for pedestrian and bike involvement accidents. That's it. That's all I have.
So, excuse me, so is there a summit date established?
So it was last week. There was a very, very successful and professional event. I'm assuming it's going to be an annual thing.
No, I'm saying for the J1 students.
Oh, no. So I just got notified yesterday, May 20th, there's a large group of them. I don't know what country yet. There's a large group of them coming May 20th, and then another large wave coming June 30th. So we kind of mentioned before doing 4 or 5. I think we might scale that back to 1 or 2, so try to do one close to Memorial Day weekend, and then maybe one the end of June.
Okay.
I do have a list of, I remember I mentioned this a few meetings back, going door to door to some restaurants in town. We can't force these people to come here. We can't steal employees from businesses when they're needed to come to the event. So that's what I mean. We have to kind of encourage them to come here. The list of Bethany businesses, restaurants in town: Sedona, 14 Global, Core Brothers, the Penguin Diner, Blue Crab, Baja Beach House and Grill. I mentioned the hotel. I believe there's nothing west of Kent Avenue that employs full-time J1 students. So closer to mid-May, I'm gonna have seasonals. If you guys wanna do it too, I'll have seasonal officers go to these businesses and invite the employees. Tim next door from Blue Crab is great. He will go work in the kitchen and let 15 of his employees come over here and attend. So try to do that to every other business in town, and if we get 50, that's great. If we get 17, that's 17 people that we can educate.
What about Bethany Blues? They hire some, don't they? In the kitchen, I think they do.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I did put out the thing on social media, I think in November, trying to generate feedback from businesses in town, and nobody responded. So it got a lot of views, it got a lot of clicks, it got a lot of shares, but nobody actually physically reached out and said, I have 17 employees, what's the date, keep me posted. Didn't get one email confirmation from that.
Okay.
Great, thanks.
It
Yeah, if I
seems-
could, just, I'm updating my little spreadsheet here in terms of
Yep.
our activities, so just to give us credit for what's
Yep,
been done
yep.
or what's planned. So again, just jumping back, so the April 17th was the Del Dot Safety Summit.
Yep.
And were you the only one from the committee that was on it?
Dan Rosenblatt was there too.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, great. And then the rides with the trolley, we're just going to do those. We'll work that out, but we don't have a plan specifically, like so-and-so is going to ride on the 5th of June or something like that.
I think that could maybe just be a email communication, say, hey, does anybody want to go for a ride the next couple days for an hour or so? I think we could shoot from the hip there and kind of
Okay.
do that.
No, that makes sense. So it's just basically just one of us is just going to go at a time and just
Maybe 2.
sit
Yeah,
there.
maybe 2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can go out there myself, or have another full-time officer or a seasonal officer go out there with somebody else too, and just write notes down on a piece of paper.
No, I think it's a great idea. Again, riding the trolley is what, 25 cents, or at least it used to be?
Free.
Free now.
Free now.
It's free
Yeah.
now. It's
Yeah.
free
Even
now.
better.
It was backwards.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
So that would be easy to do, and I think it's a wonderful way to
Yeah.
communicate with people. So I'll just put that on the list, and we'll just kind of do that spontaneously. And then the J1 programs, again, for what's scheduled at the moment, again, these will be at the
Firehouse.
Firehouse. It's May 20th and June 30th.
Those are when the students arrive to the country.
arrive.
So we might give them a couple days to get situated. So maybe we'll try late May on specific dates, late May, and then late June.
Okay. So
Depending
I
on-
won't put specific dates
early
down
July.
yet. We'll just leave it as an
Yeah.
item that will be supported.
We have nothing going on July 4th. We could probably do that like noontime on July 4th.
After the 4th of
Yeah, we'll fit it in. That's all I have.
One thing, it seems like through past experience, and last year, St. Martha's has a dinner for the J1 students. It's always very well attended. You get about 120, I think, kids that come, primarily, I think, for the food and the ice cream, which seems to be a real big hit. But they're there, and last year, I think it was Mickey, Tim, and I were there for that. And there's always there's a former J1 student who is a state trooper that comes and talks to them, and it seems to have a good rapport with them. A lot of them come from countries where the police aren't always viewed in the best light, so she does a lot to help with that. But if we can have some people, help at St. Martha's and pass out info, that would be actually probably pretty beneficial.
Do you know the date?
I don't know the date yet. I
They
will
usually
check.
email me early to mid-June. They usually have it late July. So for what we try to do, the education and the outreach, it's too late, but we go every year. We play cornhole with them, and we kind of, relax with them. I usually get notified of that date sometime after Memorial Day. And they're very good at notifying us and inviting us every year.
Good.
Good.
Thank you, Carl. Okay. Programs and activities. So I think that goes back to your spreadsheet, Art. So those of you who have not, I know Carl just signed up for a bunch of things, please sign up. Please, thank you. Please sign up where you can. So one question I have is, we have listed for the Poseidon Festival, Sunday, the 26th. Is that what did we agree on that date? Because I know last year I thought we did Friday and Saturday.
Well, Sunday is the first responders meet and
That's-
greet.
okay, so I thought that was
There's going to be a lot
Saturday.
of town tables set
Yes.
up anyway, that's Sunday.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I had that date wrong.
Last year, Teresa, you and I were out there. Dan came out.
Right, and then Diane and Dan were there on Saturday.
Okay. So I know when I was out there Friday, maybe because I was out there, people kind of stayed away from us. So I don't know if we want to do that. I think during the Poseidon, the police department took pictures with the kids, and then the committee members kind of focused towards the parents.
Right.
That was a little bit better. If you guys want to still do the Friday and Saturday night, I can have an officer out there with you, or actually not. I just feel like me being there, kind of, people just walked away.
Plus, didn't we use the police tablecloth, so it
Yes.
was more of a
Yep.
police presence
Yep.
than the wave, yeah.
Right.
I was
So-
going to suggest that for the committee. I know there was an email going around about tablecloth.
Yeah.
I was going to volunteer ours, but I think just to kind of, the police, they have nothing, they're just going to take it.
Well, the police table was very popular because they gave out hats. And then we were talking to the parents, that the
Right.
kids were getting the hats, we were giving them our information. And then I think Dan was taking pictures of them by the police car.
Yep.
That helped.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those pictures, yeah.
I think that one day is fine, especially if we're going to do the craft show the following weekend. I don't think we need to do 3 days or 2 days.
And it's concentrated for education.
Yes.
Yep.
That 5:30 to 7, so,
Okay. It's 5:30 to 7?
yes.
Do you have that, Art? Do you have that time?
Let's see, so this is
The 26th.
26th
Yes.
of May.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so let's see. Yeah, I got 5:30 to 7 on
Perfect.
here.
Okay.
Yeah. So just at the moment, I've got Carl listed, and anybody else want to commit to?
I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can do it too. I have to check my calendar.
I'll be milling around anyway, because I'll be on site for the festival, so.
And then the next big one is the craft show. I think is it 10 to 5? What are the hours of
10 to
that?
4:30.
10 to 4:30.
Yes, it's 10 to 4:30.
So I think the, 2-hour shifts seem to work pretty well. That's a long day to expect people to stay outside.
That's May
That is June 1st.
Yeah, I won't be here.
So if you guys could check your calendars and get back to Art.
I'll definitely do the craft show.
Okay,
I'll be okay.
so just pick a time
Yep.
and sign up with Art.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, yeah. Yeah, and if you've got a specific time that you'd like to be there, so we can kind of work people's schedules accordingly.
Right.
I mean, that's what, I know there's interest this week
Right.
in supporting the biking event tomorrow. And again, we'll just, I mean, there's at least 4 people that want to support it, and we'll
Right.
just kind of figure out what times we need to be there. Because I'm guessing there's going to be, a number of people will be there tomorrow, and so I
Sure.
think this is a good time to try and interact with people.
Yes, agreed. Agreed. Okay, and then there are the concert series and the movie series. I know we've spoken with Julie about having people speak before the movies or the concerts, just 2 minutes about WAVE. So again, if you're around for any of those events, if you could sign up with Art.
Is the our table or our area going to be near where they sell the T-shirts?
No, I think this is us getting up on the stage and talking for 2 minutes while we have everyone's attention. And then
Before the concert.
before the concert or before the movie.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll be able to do all of them, but if, we can do as many as we can do. Is that fair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
That is what you had in mind, right? That we would speak before the event?
Yeah, if there's an interest in doing that, because it is a captive audience. Now, a lot of them are repeat attendees, but you can always have a new ear that's there, so.
Okay. So the next item was covered by Chief Foley, the Del Dot Safety Workshop in Wilmington. And now we are on to areas of focus. Do you have anything else, Art, to add?
Well, I was just wondering, and again, tomorrow with the Ocean to Bay Bike Tour, again, they're expecting like 20, the last I heard was it's over 2,200 people.
Oh, wow.
Are going to be participating in some way. At least that's the number that's signed up. Now, the coastal cruisers are the ones we're going to primarily focus on. So they theoretically could be riding, I guess, tomorrow afternoon or Saturday afternoon. So, again, my understanding is we have a table or a booth, whatever they want to call it, out here near the packet pickup area. At least that's my understanding.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where, but I let them know that we are interested in having one, so wherever the registration is.
Okay. So am I correct to assume that they will provide us like a table and everything, and we just need to, or do we need to
Yes.
bring the table?
Yes, they'll
Okay.
provide that.
So the table will come, and then if we can get a drape or something to indicate this is WAVE and whatever, and then we just probably need to have 2 people there at a time to kind of talk with people as they come
Yeah,
through.
at this point, it's too late to get the tablecloth, but
No, that's fine.
it's for tomorrow, so it's, we could have something. We have the WAVE banner. If there's any way that we could attach that around,
Okay.
that would be a presence.
Maybe we could do that and just get some tape to kind of hold it in place.
Or
We have
clamps
zip
or
ties.
something.
I can bring zip
yeah.
ties.
Okay. So now, I think you wanted to be there, Teresa, from 12 to 2, right? Which is great.
Mark
what
said
time
he
would
could
you
come
like
at
to be there?
2.
I can come maybe a little bit before 2 so we can have a changing of the guard.
Okay. Anybody else interested in tomorrow?
I can help. So what is the time frame? You want 2 at a table at a time or just 1?
I don't know. It seems to me when we had like 2 people out at the other event that was successful, because like one person could like hand out shirts and somebody else could talk to somebody else.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, I mean, I'll be happy to be there for most of the afternoon.
I can come at 12.
You want to be there with Teresa at 12?
Okay.
Okay. So if the 2 of you could work from 12 to 2, then I'll join Mark at around 2 o'clock, and then we'll stay, I could stay till 5. I don't know what your plans are.
I can probably stay till 5 too.
Okay. So that'll give us our coverage.
Sure.
And then I'm assuming we can kind of wrap up at 5. I've never done this before, so we'll have to give it a shot. And if it needs to go longer, again, I'm only a couple blocks away. I can stay later if necessary.
That's the beauty of Bethany. We're all just a couple bucks away.
So where are we going to be setting up? Not at the chamber, we're going to be here.
No, we'll be at the church.
The church, okay, gotcha.
So we'll have to figure out T-shirts and giveaways and how to get them back. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, yeah. And you're writing in it, so did they say where the registration's going to be? Is it at the PNC lot, or is it on the bandstand?
I didn't get that far into it, because
Okay.
I'm trying to convince my friends not to do the 50.
No.
So I'm like, I'll pick my packet up, that's the easy part. Guys, can we not do the 50?
I think it's at the Christian Conference Center.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's where the.
A couple years it's been kind of rolling through. They have a route through, so you can kind of pass through and grab it and then get back out and get along the way.
Okay.
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 But no, I think this is really good for us to have a presence there.
I agree.
So this would be great. So again, I guess if you guys can pick up the supplies,
Yep.
then I'll just take care of them at the end of the day, and if worst comes to worst, I'll hold on them until Monday if I need to bring them back to you or whomever. Just let me know. I mean, do we have enough brochures?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have about 400 brochures,
All right, I think that should be more
So-
than enough.
yeah.
Good.
And when we run out, we run out. We'll have them at the next event.
That's right.
And as we did at the movie night, you don't have to give it to every person. I would say give it to a group, or, because, just one less thing for them to stash while they're going for their ride, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if we
or
have the
drop.
T-shirts, I think it's good, again, we just get the sizes separated.
Sure.
So, I mean, last time we had the bags, but we had to dig through the bag to figure out what size the shirt was. So you didn't want to give a kid an extra large
Sure.
or vice versa.
Well, again, because it was a family bag, it was like, here's a bag, just a token here, of what we're trying to do here, just a
Okay.
representation. So if it was an extra large, it's whoever it fit, you know.
And everyone that's registered will receive, a drawstring bag that has, koozies, something, a little wooden nickel from
Right.
the Cottage Cafe. And so if we're gonna give out stuff too, we might not wanna be duplicating a bag, and so
Sure.
it might be something they just wanna put into their bag. that
Okay,
they have.
well, good, because
good
that's what
point.
we're going to do.
Yeah, because the bags won't be ready till the
We'll
30th.
just give them
So
something to
we'll have
put
them
in
for the
their
other
bag.
events. So it works
Makes it
out.
easy. We save our
Okay.
bags.
Are you covered
Yeah, no,
now?
that's great. Yeah, I'm working with you guys on
Yes.
Friday afternoon, and then I'm helping with packet pickup on Saturday morning. So I'm
Okay.
looking forward to the event. I've seen the markers already out on the roads, so I think it'll be successful. The Coastal Cruise will be interesting because they had to reroute it because of the traffic.
Oh, really?
But, well, I mean, you got the traffic and you got the construction
Yeah, the
going on
construction
around the
is-
bridge.
Oh, sure.
So they had to route them over the bridge and then around again, as opposed to under the bridge and back.
Right.
But I looked at the route this morning, and I think, it's doable.
That's great.
Yeah, the only thing they asked is, at the chamber at least, was they were wondering if we could have somebody help at the turn point once people have gone over the bridge to make sure they dismount, because once you get over the bridge, you really have to get off your bike to safely get around on the north side. And I said I'd ask, but I'm not sure anybody would be interested in doing that. I said, we've got enough, we're trying to cover down here.
Right.
But if anybody would like to do that, just let me know, and, we can get in touch with the chamber.
Great.
But I think what we're doing right now is, very supportive
Yeah,
of their
yeah,
efforts.
yeah.
Agreed.
Do the education.
Agreed. Okay, so Brad has been working on some initiatives as well.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Let me get,
Clearer
so I don't have to look so far, I can duplicate it here. So I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk about the messaging teamwork that we're doing. Last month, or between last month's meeting and today, we've generated sort of a guiding principle for us to create some messaging. And I'm just going to read it off the screen. To positively engage and educate the broader Bethany Beach coastal community and seasonal visitors about cycling and pedestrian safety in Bethany Beach through media and social platforms with the goal of supporting a walkable and bikeable community for travel, connectivity, and recreation. And the reason why we create a mission statement is just so that, any content that we create, we want to bounce it off of that mission statement and make sure that we're still driving, in the correct direction. We want to be positive. We want to be engaging. If it educates, then we're meeting, some of our goals with this. And then the whole goal of having a mission statement is to build this programmatically, so it's something that can continue as it kind of finds legs. We want to know whether or not we're successful, so what we decided on the call that at some point we will sort of take the number of likes and follows that are currently going on and see if we can't elevate that and use that as sort of a metric. At some point, if pedestrian safety becomes a greater priority for DelDOT and they're interested in helping to fund something, we'd like to be able to present why we would be, the effectiveness of our program to communicate, and we have to have some measure for that. So we'd like to be able to make sure that we can relay, should we have an opportunity to seek funding for even more. Let me see if I can make, yes, there we go. So we identified who we're targeting, and it's a lot of the communities that we would like to communicate with. And so we identified J1 workers as being a specific community, and walkers, perhaps being different from vacationers, perhaps being the same. You know, we have the experienced cyclists who are showing up this weekend, and we have people who are driving cars. And then we came through with some ideas of topics that we can generate: helmet use, direction to travel, how and where to cross, fun destinations, the drivers being one of the more unique groups because we want to teach them from a driver's perspective, whereas everyone else we're speaking from a cyclist or pedestrian basis. Sorry, guys. So other possible topics were whether or not we would align with cycling tie-ins, whether or not if it's a rainy day, do we want to just have a rainy day post that we could toss up? And if anybody else comes in with an idea, of course, that's a big part of it too. Our content ideas will be guided by things that we can research and find. So polls and opinions, I just grabbed this one because this was shared on our email list, but I think it's really telling. People care. They want to know about more crosswalks and traffic speed. So there's topics that people are already interested in, because our goal is to utilize, you know, this beautiful place where we have homes, and to utilize this attraction to help deliver our message, which they may not be as interested in, but is equally important as pictures of the beach. So, and then our goal, I think, for the first month, we want to start respectable, but not necessarily by jumping too far into the deep end. And so we discussed doing something weekly for the month of June and using the month of May to plan and pick on our calendar how we want to feather into some of the events that are already happening, if there are topics that we think come across. One of the simple examples of a post that I shared on our little email group was, it was around the time of Easter. It can be as simple as an Easter bunny, in the sand. And how does the Easter bunny cross the street? It pushes the button, and then we did a picture of the reflective beacons, and then a toss to the Wave 2.0.
That's cute.
It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be Hollywood. It just has to be cute and effective, and has to kind of get enough attention that people will linger on it long enough.
They want to come back to see the next one.
Yeah, and we want to inspire them to follow, and
Yes.
the way we'll utilize common hashtags, such as, if you research what are the 50 most popular hashtags: beach, happy, sunshine. These are all things, and we've got plenty of that we can also toss in to make sure people get our messages. And I just think that's just an awesome graphic, and it's a great way. I think it just closes up anything we do. We can include the wave for safety in Bethany Beach. So
Perfect. Thank you. Does anyone have any comments?
Thanks, Brad. Great work. Just one thing I have to say about this. This is now be placed in the Coastal Points special issue around Father's Day last year. It had long shelf life of lasting through September. And question is, do we want to run this ad again?
I think we do. A lot of people read the Coastal Point.
But this is a special section, so it's not only going to Coastal Point readers, it's going to be at rest stops. It's going to be in these
Oh, in the news.
the boxes, the news boxes, and different restaurants and things. So it just has extended shelf life. So if you miss that particular issue of the Coastal Point, you'll still have the opportunity to see this all summer long.
I think we should.
I think that's a great
You
idea.
too.
Okay.
Any objections to that? Nope. Okay, well, there we go. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
All right. So that brings us to the end of our meeting. Before we adjourn, does anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up?
Well, I would say I'm happy to see that they're working to reduce the speed limit on 26. I thought that was
Yes.
great news. I think that will save a lot of problems. And that meeting on the 8th, they were at Del Dot's apparently holding down at the South Coastal Library.
Yes.
I'm planning to go, and
As
I
am
would
I.
encourage anybody else that has the time to stop by and see what they're talking about. I guess it goes, from 5 to 7?
Yes, and for those of you who don't know, it's about pedestrian and bicycle safety on Route 1 north of here, south of the bridge. It's the North Bethany Coalition, I think, that has gotten that going.
Yeah, I just think this might be a great opportunity for us to provide input in terms of safety.
I agree.
Yeah, like I said, I'm so glad to see those speed meters that are on the area up there right now that tell you exactly how fast you're going. But the other thing that just strikes me is, again, there's like that 1 meter is really close. It's like probably within 100 feet of the villas. And so, okay, you're going to see the speed, but again, when the people are from the villas are going to cross the highway, or the people in the communities just south of that are going to cross the highway, if you've got people going 70, 74 miles an
Yeah.
hour, you know, are they going to have time to react? So I'm hoping that people will start to connect the dots here and realize that, you know, with all these communities and more people crossing the highway, that we really need to focus on trying to slow people down. And I'm not sure exactly how it's done, but I'm hoping that this can be communicated to DelDOT and something can be done further to, I'd love to see the speed limit reduced to 45 between the bridge and Bethany. I think that that would make a lot of sense, and I'm hoping it'll come to that at some point.
Hopefully. I think that has been asked and studied, and DelDOT said no. But that's, you know, the importance of these meetings. You know, if enough people go to the meeting and express their concern about safety and speed limits, that might be eye-opening to them.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, and I'll raise this here, have they ever talked about trying to do speed cameras
That's what I,
in
that's what
Sussex
that
County?
was my question.
Because I'm just thinking, like I said, I constantly am coming back from Rehoboth, and I see that, you know, these people just, you know, they're flying by me on the left. I'm coming on the right, you know, lane, and they're coming by on the left, and it's like, it's easily well over 70, and it's just not right. And, you know, some speed cameras and some tickets
know.
going out with a nice
But at least you're
fined
recording.
people, I think would straighten out behavior in a hurry. But again, I realize there's a lot of things to consider in that matter.
Right. I mean,
I just thought I'd raise it if it.
I find them to be effective because I no longer speed where I got a speed camera ticket.
No, I think we all do. 2 in one day.
So regarding the speed cameras, the town manager and I had a conversation last week. I'm actually in contact with a sales rep who reached out to myself, the town manager, and Brett Warner. So I thought it was spam, to be honest with you, and then I realized the people that he emailed directly, they had to have some knowledge of the town. So come to find out, the gentleman lives in Ocean View. He has a beach house in Ocean View, but he works for this Northeast company for, I think it's Conduent. I've heard the name a few times. I've reached out to him. The problem that we have in this jurisdiction is our big speeding problem is what? State Route 26 and State Route 1, which are highway maintained roads. So we can't put a speed camera on those roads without the approval of DelDOT, and I don't see that happening. The only way we can get around that is alternate Route 54, which is Kent Avenue. We can certainly place a speed camera on that. There's many considerations involved with DelDOT, but we fit Kent Avenue. So if we do get any, I can guarantee it's going to go to Kent Avenue first. I think it's a very long stretch to get them installed on Route 26 as well as Route 1, just because it's a state roadway. We can get by on Kent Avenue because it's residential,
Right.
right? So we're working on that currently. Dan Rosenblatt and I had a very lengthy conversation at this summit conference during our very delicious lunch. He said one of his friends, I believe was in France, everything, police contact, everything is electronic. Red lights, seat belts, speed, you just go home and get a ticket in the mail. And if you don't pay it, you're going to jail. So that is really, that's something the United States won't see for a long, long time. But Delaware, I think the only speed camera thing that I've ever seen is an Easy Pass in the state of Delaware. But you go in inner city Baltimore, they have them everywhere. So-
DC has them everywhere.
DC as well, yeah. So the big cities, they can control it because it's their streets. We're on state
Maryland
roads, so
has
having a
it,
little bit of a
Bethesda
problem
has
with that. But we are looking into that.
That's great. And again, maybe that's something that wouldn't hurt to raise in the meeting on the 8th, just to kind of reinforce the fact that there's interest in that type of thing. Because like I said, you know, you get hit a couple times, word gets out, you're not going to do it again, other people will, you know, be hesitant to do it again. And again, I mean, I see people just even blowing through here on the, you know, where it's
Yep.
downtown, where it's like 35. I mean, right here, crossing the highway, I mean, they're going a heck of a lot more than 60 a lot of times when they come through here. And again, when the cars are out there, that makes a difference, but again, you guys can't be out there constantly. So,
Yeah, there's money to be made there as
That's
well.
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
I was 11 miles over the speed limit, and my ticket was $110.
wow.
Hence the reason I don't do that anymore.
Good to
So
know.
if
I
you're
thought
going,
you got 12 miles before they sent it.
so Montgomery County is cheaper. Montgomery County is much less expensive than the district. But yes, so I think for them to be effective, the penalty has to be more than like $30,
Yes.
personally.
I can tell you a speeding ticket, we're very generous in Bethany. We usually write people at 5 over. Now, we stop for, let my secrets out here, we stop for 15 or 16 over on Route 1. So 50 is where we're stopping. Now, if it's highly congested and there's a lot of pedestrians out there, we'll certainly, it's officer discretion. The general consensus is 50 or above. Now, 26, I stop at like 46 or 47, it's a tighter roadway, there's more houses on there. Again, it's officer discretion. $97 is a Delaware speeding ticket for 5 over. And 90% of the people, so we stop them for 15 or 16, but we're generous and we write them for 5 over. $97.
Wow.
And it's 1 point.
Oh, 1 point.
Some surrounding states do not have reciprocity. So if we write them with 5 over, they love it because they're not going to get the 1 point that you would get in Delaware in their state because they don't have reciprocity with Delaware. So 95% of our speeding tickets we write at 5 over, and it's only $97. It used to be
That's a lot.
$39.60 until maybe 2012, 2011. So very cheap speeding tickets for Delaware.
I don't know that 97 is cheap. I don't.
So how much would be for 11 over?
Let's go find out.
I know.
Well, thank you for the information. Appreciate that.
Did you have anything, Brad? I thought you were going to say
I'm
something.
good, thank you.
Anybody else?
I wanna
You're
trample that
rethinking
whole
that.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, well, thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
My daughter might wait 5, 6,
Good meeting.
speeding tickets.